this. Yeah.
So let's go to our next speaker, Moshmi. I've already introduced her, and
My
I'm
apologies.
waiting to hear Moshmi.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Gauri, so
Good
much.
evening.
And thank you, Mrinalini, because now it's 5:33, so I have to rush. So I'll just try putting everything within the 3 minutes and then making a move. First of all, it was lovely hearing you all speak so much about the food for the body. So I'm going to speak a little about food for the skin and how to detoxify your skin and make it look healthy and glowing. So I'll just give you small hacks. Like, first thing you should do in the morning to keep the skin glowing is get up in the morning and drink warm water. And before going to bed, drink warm water. Do not drink warm water throughout the day unless you have cold and cough. Otherwise, you'll start having constipation, and that would affect the skin.
Okay.
So this is important. And next, once you get up in the morning, first wash your face with normal temperature water. If possible, cold water. But if you have sinus and all, do not use cold water. If you do not have cold water, you can use normal water. And if you do not have sinus, you can use cold water to wash your face because that tightens the pores. When you get up in the morning, our face has a lot of dead cells. So just use the water to scrub your face lightly. Just plain water to scrub your face lightly, and then just splash the water on your face, and then just wash it off. Take any oil, pure oil. It can be sesame oil, it can be coconut oil, it can be a pure grade serum oil, and apply it on your face. And that's all for the morning routine you can do. And then just before you're bathing, you can wash your face with the morning face wash that you use. So I'm not going to go into the details of maintaining the skin throughout the day, but I'm just going to show you how to detoxify, because you all know it's very important to eat healthy. But whatever toxins are inside our body, they remain inside. And we have, just like the circulatory system, which passes the blood throughout our body, we have the lymphatic system, which carries the toxins from all our organs and takes it out of the body. So having a clean lymphatic system is very, very important. So I'm just going to show you a lymphatic stretch that you can do in the morning after applying the oil on your face. Wash your face with water, apply the oil, and then just like use your right hand to hold the lower jaw. I mean, here you have the jawbone. If you can hold the jawbone, and from here, I think you should be able to see me. Are you able to see me? I don't know, because I'm using my mobile now.
Yeah, we
Yes,
see
me
you.
too.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
just hold the end of the jawbone here, and then you just feel the end of your shoulder bone and do a small stretch, counting about 14 in your mind, because we have the lymphatic glands running from here. Lubna had said that when you wanted to patch test something, you do it at the back of your ears, because we have the lymphatic glands here. It's a very sensitive area. So you just hold the end of the jawbone and then hold your shoulder bone here and do a stretch like this and count about 12 to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this, you just go on doing it till 14 counts and then leave it, and then do it on the other side. Just use your hands to hold the end of the jawbone, pull from here, hold your shoulder bones, and do the stretching. And count from 12 to 14. This is going to help you stretch your lymphatic system in the morning. And then after this, if you can just do a small round of the head like this, going back and going front very slowly. This is going to clean the entire system in this area. That is the neck and the face area. So this is actually going to ensure a very, very healthy and clear glowing skin. The next thing you all can do is just take your fingers like this. You can do it at home. It takes hardly 2 minutes. And put your hand here near the eyes, just here in between the eyes and the nose. Press it for about 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. And when you press it, don't press too hard. Press it slowly and slowly start pulling your skin like this towards the marma point here. Okay, that is the end of the eyes. We come till Apang Marma, we come till here, and then slowly take it down the neck and leave it here on the shoulder bone. This is from here, actually from the shoulder, it goes towards the arms and the lymph gets drained there. So first take your right hand, put your hand here, hold it for 3 seconds, then put your left hand and slowly stretch your skin. It's a very gentle but a straight stretch. Stretch it like this, hold it for about 2 seconds, and then bring it down. While bringing it down, you need to be careful that you don't lift your head up like this. Keep it straight and bring it down towards your shoulders. So if you do this for both the sides about 3 times, this is going to maintain the glow of the skin, as well as it's going to work as an anti-aging massage. It's a very easy massage. So people who have lines and wrinkles coming here, I think within a week's time, they can see them vanishing, going. Believe me, it works miracles.
Thank you. Thank you, Moshmi.
And
Moshmi, we can see
really
the
nice.
glow on your face. So, you know, that kind of...
it does work.
We need a full session on this. This is not enough.
Yeah,
we'll-
but you all can start with this. You can start with this and then go beyond. And I am...
Go back first.
Sorry?
I said we'll get the glow back first and then we'll go to the next step.
Sure. And I am the founder of the brand Rilq, which is into 100% natural skin and hair care products. I mean, they're products which you can eat them. It's absolutely preservative free, and we all the products are made using the circular economy framework. So even while manufacturing, we do not use any chemical processing in any of our products. And you can reach out to me at 94311 20255. And you can check out the website. It's mrilq.com. It's MRILQ.com. I think that's it. My 3 minutes are over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Moshmi. That
Okay.
really brings a lot of cheer.
Thank you, Moshmi.
At least
Yeah, thank
So
you.
now quickly, let's go to the next speaker. Yeah, Purbi Sarkar. She is one of the youngest people I know who are working with the Kumaon women. And today she'll be talking about her work. So Purbi.
Thanks, Mrinalini, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure hearing all the stalwarts out here. You know, I don't know what to speak, I'm just in awe moments, So basically, I'm here to speak about the Kumaon women livelihood, but it's just not about Kumaon women, but it's about the women in Uttarakhand who work, not because women are hardworking, but I believe that's an economic. There is a lot of out migration of the men into different job verticals, which leaves the women to handle more part of their duties, which is like agriculture, which is like managing and other things. So I come from a management background, and I have worked in organizations like PwC and other like alike organizations, and I try to bring the perspective of repairing the ecosystem. I always believe that there is a natural ecosystem that exists also for the the people, the planet, everywhere. So it's something that we need to repair. So I try to do that repairing of the ecosystem with my team out there from our organization called TARE, which is a long name. So we try to work on sustainable livelihoods, trying to work on different verticals, which is like health, which is also handholding the self-help group of women, because I personally feel that the self-help group in the hills die out very soon after they are being formed in 3 to 4 years. So building the strategy, basically, that how they can run for a longer duration of time, and what is the business aspect that they can bring into the mainstream. Also, I work with artisan as well, because I feel that there is a 52-week revenue model that we try to create, wherein the farmer and artisan co-create the space of the ecosystem altogether. So that's a nutshell. And just I would like to highlight one product which we are focusing on is the chura butter, which is a tree that grows in that area. It comes from the family of mahua, as Hina spoke about. So it comes from the same family, but it's a different tree. So the butter of that chura is being used in making a lot of nutraceutical products. So I'm trying to create that streamlined livelihood for that. And we recently launched a brand called Earthen Love in Bombay recently, introducing those products. I'm working on the formulations as well. So, that's about it. I work on multiple things, so I don't know what to say, but that's in a nutshell. And, it's like, I'm very grateful to hear all of your experiences. And I was really, I have used the products of Staple Kaka. So, I must say that their packing is very good, and their atta, which she was focusing on, because Amreen spoke about watermills, and I'm very passionate about watermill, because that's basically using the kinetic energy of water. So when we think about environment, and then we have our food, that is the most valuable part of ecosystem. So, thanks to all of you, and, best wishes, and happy Diwali and happy festivities. Thank you.
Thank you, Purbi. I know there's so much you have to share. We will once have a session in which we talk about women we work with, SHGs or women in different parts of India that we work with, and what is it which we can bring to the table for them in terms of skill development, processing skills, innovation of foods, etc. So I think we will do a separate session on that, Purbi, and maybe you will really lead that session. So great, wonderful. We have a big roundup of people still needing to talk, and we are at 5:45. So we are going to go on till 6:20. I want to make sure that every single person out here gets a chance to speak. There are many who are struggling with their networks and have gone out of the of the Zoom call. But those of you who are here, please, we want to make sure that you get a chance. Mrinalini, can we call Dr. Vedmani here, please?
Yeah, please. Can you tell Dr. Vedmani, please? Madam?
Dr. Vedmani, are you there?
I don't see her here.
She was here till about 2-3 minutes ago. Has she left? I know, because their network is very poor in, no, she's very much there. Vedmani, you're there? Can you speak? I'm just telling her to speak.
Yeah.
She's very much there. I don't know whether she can hear us.
Yeah, she's speaking. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Vedmani? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it audible?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh, I just forgot to unmute and start.
Last time we tried getting you, and I know there were huge network problems, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity of having you speak today.
Yeah. I got a mail also. Network is very erratic nowadays in Manipur state. So everybody, a very good evening. I'm Vedmani from Manipur, and my is food science and nutrition, and my passion for the community development activities brings me to join with the women and girls groups, and just started working based on the every area, agriculture area, agri and horticulture areas. And here we have formed Agro Women Entrepreneurs Cluster, just to support the women entrepreneurs who are working in level. And recently, I have joined, I have appointed as a chairperson for the Northeast region for CI MSME. And just after that, I'm working as a president of WICI for SME and MSME sector. So just my venture, my journey to promote the women entrepreneurs for the community development, it's undergoing so far.
Wonderful. Can you share about your book, Vedmani, your latest book, or maybe all your books?
Yeah, basically, my books are on the food habits, and it's mainly is on the nutritional anthropology. As I'm working for on the population, so it's always in the food habit, and I'm also working for the socialization and marginalization for the women community also. So it's a list. I will share it when if you all give a permit to share. So there's a lot of papers which I have presented in national and international seminars. It's all based on the foods, foods and nutrition.
Fantastic. And you work on traditional foods and rediscovering traditional foods. I've seen that. Also with some of the tribal, parts of Manipur. She's doing amazing path-breaking work, and this is the kind of work we require across India. I've been really inspired by her work, and definitely want. She's been talking on a lot of international forums, but we want more of you, Vedmani, so that some of us can understand what kind of work is really required in the whole nutrition area.
And I have been involved with the tribal population since 2000. So there's a lot to share.
Yes. We must have a separate session with you once, Vedmani, whenever you have some time to spare.
Yeah,
so that
definitely.
we can
I will love. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. I think research on nutrition is a big area, and we need to have a session on that. So thank you for joining us, Vedmani. It's good to hear you finally.
Thank you, Gauriji. Thank you. Happy Diwali to you.
Yeah. So we have now, Mrinalini.
We have another round of introductions. Let's go to the introductions now. I would like Lakshmi Devaki from Luster Organic, Hyderabad, to introduce herself. Lakshmi, I know you're here. Hello, Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, are you there?
She is there, but maybe she's not hearing.
Not be able to.
Okay.
Anybody else you think you would want to get on?
Neeru from Cupid's Canopy. Neeru?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So you're the one who made the invite.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me well.
Can.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, great. Lovely evening, lovely 2 years and very productive. I believe I can see it already. And because we have a very less time, so okay, I will just run very quickly, what I'm into. So just like Bhumija, I am into beekeeping, and just like Bhumija, which is all about women, beekeeping and honey is also about female worker bees. So that's a very interesting fact about honey I would like to share right now. All the honey is produced by the female bees who stay in the hive along with the male bees and the queen bees. The male are good for nothing, and it's the female who are doing every job which is related to maintaining the hive, sustaining the whole family, and producing each and every byproduct of beekeeping. And I work on a migration model, which is with the Mellifera bees, Mellifera, which are very Italian bee, but we are working on a very small, scale on Sirana, which is very own Asiatic bee also. And with Sirana bees, we are not doing a lot of production, but yes, the production comes a lot from the Mellifera bees. And about the honey or the product we do, there is only one thing, I do come from a very textile and a garment background, and honey or farming or beekeeping happened like out of randomness. But I explored, and I was totally stunned by the facts of beekeeping, the way the bees are doing their job. They don't need us, we need them. They can take care of them on their own. And when I talk about honey doesn't need any introduction, but a pure honey does. What we aim at is to reintroduce or to reconnect human with the with a pure product.
You have to wind up, Neeru.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Anything you want to ask us, please do. I will just share my number here. And all the best to everyone, and have a great festive season ahead.
All the
And
best.
hope we all survive.
Can you all give her a thumbs up for making the invite for us?
One of the most beautiful, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Creative ones. Thanks for coming forward, Neeru. And this is the spirit of Bhumija. We want more and more teamwork to come forward. Mrinalini is doing a great job of doing an MC. So there's so much talent amongst us. Talent cannot be only used for business, but for platforms. So the platforms grow and more people actually get access, as much as possible, right? So we work in small ways and we work in big ways. So I wanted to just intervene here, Mrinalini. So we're going to take about a 3-4 minute quick Vidyas break. So we came up with this word called Vidyas from the word ideas. So why do we say that something is an idea? Okay, and why is there an I before the dia? Okay, so idea is normally seen as something which you get. It's a flash which you get. It's like, "Arey, mujhe idea aaya," right? And then many of us get very attached to that idea, right? ये मेरा idea है. Oh God, मेरा idea क्यों छीन लिया किसी ने, या मेरा idea किसी को नहीं लेना चाहिए. But it's very interesting that as we are today in this platform and in the whole spirit of collective sharing and collective wisdom, which is also the basis of living without medicine and Bhumija, that if you know that you are part of one consciousness, you also realize that ideas don't belong to you, really, right? Ideas are not I at all. And very often we'll find that when somebody gets it, somebody else has also got the same thing in some part of the world, could be close, could be miles away, but somehow these ideas are happening everywhere. And therefore, why is it called an idea? Why can't it be called Vidyas? Because Vidyas makes you understand, makes you connect with the whole spirit of collective consciousness. When you know that whatever you are thinking right now has not come from within you, it's come from something which is far beyond you. You are part of that. It's not, and you're part of this very big whole, or this whole space which is operating in unison in some sense, right? Where we are connected, where our mental energies are connected, our spiritual energies are connected, our emotional energies are connected, and everything which affects us, including food, for example, is very much part of that ecosystem. So and that is why, if you realize, somebody mentioned about great design to Neeru, but I would love to use the same word, design. There is a whole design in this consciousness, and this whole consciousness works with the design of Vidyas. When suddenly still things start popping into people's heads, popping out of their heads in some kind of a pattern, which kind of comes together, starts coming together, right? And to me, why this became so important when it just emerged, no? Even this videos just emerged somewhere from out of the blue. I'm just chatting with Mrinalini, or if I'm chatting with Kanchan, or I'm chatting with Priya, or chatting with anybody, right, in our group. And suddenly when I'm chatting with them and something emerges and I say, oh, it's my idea. And then I realized that no, it did not emerge from me. It emerged because I was in connection with another consciousness who I was talking to. So that idea belongs to both of us. It doesn't belong to me at all. And then I'm chatting to somebody else, and suddenly that person says the same thing that I have, which has popped in my head. So how come this person is thinking exactly the same thing, or how come this is popped up in the same way? So if as women, we can understand that there is a collective consciousness we belong to, and that these ideas, this whole space belongs to all of us collectively, right? This wisdom belongs to all of us. This emerging creativity belongs to all of us. Then we can create things together without the me and I in it, right? The power of women, womanhood, or the power of femininity, is to really understand the subtlety of connection, right? The subtlety of connection, that everything is connected, everyone is connected. It's not about your child or what has happened to in your family, but if you hear a lot of the stories which have happened today, if it's happened to your child, it may have happened in your family, it may have happened with you, but it inspired you to do something for many other people, right? It's somewhere, it was not just about your child or about your family or about yourself. It was then about something which translated into, oh, if it can be happening here, it can be happening anywhere else. This whole power of connection, whether it is about an idea, whether it is about what you produce or create, what you feel like serving the society, what you feel like extending yourself, just see, if you reflect on it, what is this power? So from here, I wanted to actually come to you all with this thought or feeling that Bhumija or living without medicine does not belong to. I may call myself a founder for the sake of what the whole world likes to see people as in their status. But this is really a collective platform. It belongs to all of us. It's just like a guru, there is no guru if there is no shishya. There is no platform if the people in that platform are not collectively creating constantly for themselves, for others, for each other, right? And therefore, the question to me today, which I want to really spend the next 2-3 minutes on, not more than that, because we don't have time today, and we'll do more of this later, is that what do we really create from this? What do we collectively create from it? What is your vidya about what can emerge from Bhumija? What can emerge from living without medicine? What is this whole, it's really a platform for all of us to create, okay? It can be a completely wild creation, maybe something which one has never heard of. So we are going to unmute everyone in this platform, and you can speak up as loud as you want for the next 2 or 3 minutes, giving your vidya of what Bhumija or living without medicine can emerge as. Any single idea is good enough. Any single vidya is good enough. Okay, so let's unmute everyone. Just give your wildest ideas, silliest ideas, dumbest ideas, smartest idea, whatever it is, it does not matter, because that idea is the vidya ultimately. Okay, so we are unmuting everyone, and after this we do the intros. Priya, don't worry, everyone will get a chance to do the intros as well, as the talks are not over yet. Okay, anybody would want to share?
Yeah, I love the thought of connecting with women, especially the thought that you had about SHGs. So if we could sort of connect with SHGs, so these are sets of women to whom we can impart skills.
Okay.
And, you know, if there are, you know, so foods that have to be processed, because if they're not processed in some manner, pickles, papad, you know, lacto-fermented pickles, whatever it is, but, and then they, you know, so we already have lots of channels to sell, but if we can have channels to create,
Okay.
so we can inspire other groups to create, then we can become channels to sell. And, you know, if that can be done with sort of authenticity and, you know, a huge attention to quality, I think we have a big idea there. Because, you know, things like Lijjat Papad and all big brands became, you know, women, small women doing things and contributing, becoming big. So I think that's something we can definitely do as Bhumija.
Oh, that's a great video. Awesome. So from now on, we'll all talk about videos, okay? So maybe it's all about.
I feel that you know, once a week we take time off, and I think each of these people could talk to a larger audience, and I think it would benefit.
Okay, each person talks to a larger audience.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a broadcast kind of thing once every week.
Once every week, okay. And from a point of view of what?
No,
from a point of view of awareness, for selling, or what?
It's both, right? I mean, more than selling, I think, you know, the product is available. For example, how to take care of your skin, just, you know, with things in the kitchen. I mean, I think most people would be interested. I would like to listen to that for 45 minutes.
Superb. Okay.
Oh, we can cover the whole supply chain, one after the other.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the atta that Amreen was talking about. I mean, for me, you know, this question has occurred to me, but I was just too lazy to do anything about it.
Amreen, you don't need to raise your hand, please.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to speak, please speak. It's a free for all.
I just want to say one more thing. Like we also need to focus on customer education, and we need to tell customer and even us also that there is a difference between sasta khana and acha khana. Like people talk about atta to atta hai, dal to dal hai. No, it's not. Dal to dal nahi hai. Atta है not atta. Atta में बहुत कुछ है. एक flour mill का आटा है, एक चक्की का आटा है, एक water mill का आटा है, एक sprouted आटा है. तो आटे में ही 10 चीजें हैं. So we need to educate us also and the customer also.
Yeah, so this is what I meant, to educate customers, and you know, whether the product sells or not, later is up between them and the customer. But just education.
Education is very important. Like Ms. Kanchan, she has that recipes, so she can share her recipes with us. So we can also tell our customer or our friend circle कि भाई सारे लोग यहाँ पे नहीं है, but there are more. हमारे अपने groups होते हैं. We can share those recipes. Our end goal is to educate everyone among us. Even many people, they are saying कि हम तुम्हारा, if they find us expensive, मैं कहती हूँ ठीक है, please go to a chakki and grind your own wheat. Well, I just try to tell them कि don't eat mill का आटा. आपको मेरा महंगा लग रहा है, please don't buy it from me, but I'm telling you, don't eat flour mill आटा. Go and make your chakki आटा. This is very important.
There are two more people who have raised their hand. Please speak up. Don't wait to be asked. Unmute करके speak up करिए आप. This is media time, brainstorming time. तो आप लोग कोई भी मतलब जिसने भी बोलना है बोलिए. रेणुका सन बोलिए.
I second what Kanchan was saying, that we need to connect more women. And because, you know, if women become the decision makers regarding the kind of food that do they, even if they want to, sometimes because they're not financially, you know, independent, they are not able to take that decision. So if we can connect to somehow connect to the rural women as well and empower them, rural as well as urban middle class women, so that they are able to, you know, take this step of, and we'll be able to popularize organic food, the whole idea of organic food.
She's very right. With my experience also, the time we talk to women of household women, and I'm talking about this elite class society of ours. First time women buy our product. Second time she hesitates. क्या मेरे husband कहते महंगा है, मेरी mother-in-law कहती महंगा है, because there are many decision-making factors आपकी family के अंदर होते हैं. And slowly and gradually I started talking to the husband to tell them the benefit, क्योंकि ये एक अभी भी हमारे यहाँ main society का है वो.
अमरीन पॉइंट इज एब्सोल्युटली टेकन एंड लिविंग विदाउट मेडिसिन जो लोकली बने हैं वो उसी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बने हैं एजुकेट करने के लिए. अभी आपको हमने ग्रुप में ऐड नहीं किया है तो आपको ऐड करेंगे फिर फटाफट.
Sure.
और इन ग्रुप्स को हमें इंक्रीज करना है, इनको एक्सपैंड करना है, बिकॉज ज्यादा लोग ऐड करेंगे तभी हम उनको अवेयर करेंगे. देखो एक सेलर अगर अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करता है तो कस्टमर को लगता है कि भाई वो मेरे को बेचने के लिए अवेयर कर रहा है. जब एक प्लेटफॉर्म में, मैं सबको यही समझाती हूँ, अगर आप प्लेटफॉर्म में अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करते हो तो उनको ये नहीं लगता है कि इसको अपना मतलब है, राइट? तो एजुकेशन इन प्लेटफॉर्म्स इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम एजुकेशन एज अ सेलर. That is one fundamental thing जो मैं कहना चाह रही थी. Haripriya, you want to say something? Unmute yourself. हाँ.
So I second.
अच्छा, जब आप लोग वीडियोस दे रहे हैं, अगर आपका अभी तक चांस नहीं आया, अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस भी कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज इस तरीके से आपका इंट्रोडक्शन भी हो जाएगा.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, thank you so much. So I am Haripriya Bakshi. I am the founder of Avocare Biotech, and we grow super mushrooms for super immunity. We are proficient in growing all type of medicinal mushrooms or super mushrooms which are having high quality nutrients and medicinal values, so that we can lead a life towards life without medicine. These mushrooms are very
मीडिया क्या है?
for improving the awareness, means as told by other people also, that we need to create a community awareness movement through Insta lives, FB lives, YouTube lives, so that we can connect to more and more users or to the community. So like more and more women will be aware about the healthy food, then only they will opt for the natural, healthy and organic.
तो हरिप्रिया, आप हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म में इतनी देर से हैं, आपने लिविंग विदाउट मेडिसिन में एक भी पोस्ट नहीं डाला है अभी तक.
Yeah, I am so sorry for that, because I am very much stuck with this new things. Previously we were working on cordyceps only. Now we are working on Ganoderma and
very important point. हरिप्रिया, very important point. जब हम लोग प्रोडक्शन में काम करते हैं तो हम कई बार भूल जाते हैं जो क्रिएशन में, जिन लोगों का क्रिएशन में बहुत एफर्ट जाता है, राइट, वो लोग नहीं कर पाते, कई बार मार्केटिंग नहीं कर पाते या अवेयरनेस भी नहीं कर पाते. मार्केटिंग छोड़िए, कई बार अवेयरनेस में भी नहीं आ पाते. तो उसके लिए भी आपको क्या सपोर्ट चाहिए, है ना? कई बार आप नहीं उसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर पाते, वो बोलते गौरी हमें इसमें कुछ सपोर्ट चाहिए, तो आप आगे आइए और बोलिए आपको क्या सपोर्ट चाहिए, तो एज अ प्लेटफॉर्म हम आपको सपोर्ट दे पाएंगे. ऐसे कई लोग हैं हमारे पास आते हैं, जैसे कल मेरे पास एक ट्रेडिशनल फूड्स का राइस को लेके 2 लड़के आए, उन्हें बोला कि हमें सपोर्ट चाहिए इनको लोगों को तक ले जाने के लिए, और हमने उनके साथ इमीडिएटली एक फेसबुक लाइव किया, राइट. तो हम लोग करते हैं जहां पर भी सपोर्ट की जरूरत होती है, बिकॉज कई लोग जो क्रिएशन साइड में है वो सेलिंग साइड में इतना नहीं आ पाते हैं. वो एक पॉइंट में सिर्फ कहना चाह रही थी हरिप्रिया.
very good. Yeah.
So very good point that community awareness.
I have a thing, so many women are entrepreneurs. Can't we then support other women who want, ideas or, to do something, like maybe they can intern or,
What about cross-selling, Vidya? I mean, like, for example, say if Haripriya says that she's very busy in this thing, so why can't some others come forward and say, okay, we will sell for you?
Gauriji, Shashi here. I would like to add here. Regarding cross-selling that you said, I am just started about it, and I'm promoting Sonali Vaidyaji's Chyawanprash, which is the best Chyawanprash, Amrit Prash I ever had. So, and I'm trying, I'll be adding soon more, connecting with other agripreneurs, also Bhumija ladies, for selling their products in Mumbai, especially.
Superb.
Very good.
Thank you.
Gauri ma'am, I have a point to make.
Who else?
Gauri ma'am, this is Alka.
Alka, boliye, please boliye.
Ma'am, I have a point to make. Why don't we come up with a store of Bhumija where everybody can come and sell their products?
Okay.
Yeah, we can have a because nowadays marketing can be taken care and aware. It can be worked 2 ways. Like we can create awareness plus we can have a store which is selling all, and everybody can sell in their own brands under Bhumija's banner, the way Amazon or other they do, right? Where everybody,
so become
because
an
then you have a
site basically.
Yeah, e-commerce site, right? So what happens?
हमारा B2B सेटअप हो रहा है, हमारे को टेक्निकल ग्लिचेस हो रहे हैं, लास्ट 2 years आई एम स्ट्रगलिंग विद इट. अभी भी B2B इज ऑलमोस्ट रेडी, पर थोड़े से टेक्निकल ग्लिचेस और बग्स बाकी हैं. B2B रेडी हो जाएगा. उस B2B को B2C में कैसे कन्वर्ट करना, उसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर सकते हैं डेफिनेटली.
जी, तो उसमें क्या है कि सबको प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा जहां अपना प्रोडक्ट वो दिखा सकते, आपस में ही नहीं, बट वी कैन कम एंड सेल विद द अदर पीपल आल्सो, बिकॉज़ व्हेन इट इज अ ई-कॉमर्स साइट, इट इज ओपन फॉर एवरीबॉडी एंड यू कैन सेल ऑल ओवर. So it will have the mode of payment and everything has to be worked out commonly, and that things can work it out, like so everybody can earn, everybody have a fair play in it.
What does everybody think about this video?
Yes.
Is everybody
nice idea?
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea.
We will set a farmer market.
Yes, weekly farmer markets will also be a good option.
Okay. Everybody can display their own products. जो भी खरीदना चाहे वो खरीदे, और slowly when e-commerce site जाता है तो आप सभी जगह पे फिर marketing and education is required. So from anywhere people can buy. Okay. So it is not necessary. अभी तक Spencer's was not giving e-commerce site नहीं था. अब जाके COVID के time पे the Spencer's ने आ गया e-commerce लेके. They are doing online deliveries and all those things. Similarly, Bhumija can go ahead and do and all the products of all the brands, all of the women can be sold under it, whatsoever it is.
By the way, Spencer's का जो first RWA idea था वो मैंने ही दिया था उनको, उनके CEO.
जी, तो अब आप भूमिजा के लिए भी लेके आइए ना मैडम.
So anyway, so good idea. I think this the B2B platform is coming on, so we can convert that into B2B plus B2C also. That's a good point. Technically we have a difficulty because हम लोगों को टेक्नोलॉजी टीम्स अच्छी वाली मिल नहीं रही हैं. आप लोगों को किसी के भी कनेक्शंस हैं अच्छे टेक्नोलॉजी टीम्स के साथ, प्लीज आप करिए. मैं 4 बार बनवा चुकी हूँ और 4 बार मैं पैसे खर्च कर चुकी हूँ. आई एम होपिंग कि ये 5th टाइम कुछ कुछ रिजल्ट आएगा. तो उसमें टाइम बहुत ज्यादा गया है टेक्नोलॉजी को लेके. इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी. ठीक है, पर हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे. एवरीबॉडी फील्स दैट वी शुड डू दिस.
Gauri, I have a point to share if there is a time to spare.
If you have not introduced yourself, first introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, this is Sonali from Shuddhayu, Pune. I'm a 3rd generation Chyawanprash manufacturer. We recently ventured into working on many traditional Maharashtrian products which are extremely nutritious and healthy, and which have lost the value in due course of time. So we are kind of reviving our ancient traditions and trying to spread across these recipes all over India. Gauri, I had a point to make. Is there a possibility of a few women entrepreneurs coming together and setting up a cluster where we have farmers, we have foodpreneurs, we have sellers all together, and which will make getting certifications and availing the raw material, cracking MOQs a little more feasible for small time entrepreneurs. What happens is each one of us works in a very standalone pattern, and then it takes a good amount of time to scale up and understand the market nitty-gritty. So if we have a group of people in one geography where we can set up some kind of a cluster and everything from scratch to
my question here is, Sonali, Kaumudi, please don't leave. We want to have you introduce. So nobody should leave right now, those who have not introduced themselves, right? So agar you see our website, Sonali, our first website talked about how women can operate from clusters, urban, rural together. Local clusters. Actually, that was Jyoti. Don't leave, Jyoti Mundra. We want your introduction before you leave. Jyoti is doing some amazing work also. We want to hear her. तो सबसे पहले हमारा यही फोकस था, to tell you honestly. मेरा सवाल इसमें एक है जो important सवाल है कि आप सिर्फ women करना चाहते हैं कि you want male female mix. ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल है, right? क्योंकि एक एक है बोलना कि हम सिर्फ विमेन मिलके ही ये चीज करना चाहते हैं. SHGs मान लिया कि बहुत विमेन आर लीडिंग SHGs, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, तो हम उनको विमेन वाला बना सकते हैं. लेकिन डू यू वांट टू ओनली डू अ ओनली विमेन थिंग और नॉट? आई वांट टू हियर two people here. Neeru saying women only group. Kaumudi and Jyoti, can you just speak up before leaving if you have not left yet? Jyoti Mundra.
Yes, Gauriji. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for this wonderful platform today. So, yeah, I have a few things to say. So, I have a platform, and it's called onhealthynote.com. And onhealthynote.com is exactly the kind of B2C platform that you guys are talking about, where we only deal with organic, natural, or chemical-free products, right from food to skincare, to lifestyle products, home products, supplements. But the thing is, and I have connected with a few Bhumija members, and we do sell a few products of Bhumija like Avdata, and then we've just connected with Sonali from Shuddhayu. We have So Fresh also probably. We have a few, but my problem is that first of all, despite the fact that we have some amazing products, and not just from the members of Bhumija, but even from other members, the reach that I'm not being able to garner the reach, the kind of reach that the scope
about that
we have.
Jyoti, Jyoti, you've raised an important point, and I think everybody needs really wants that point to be. That's an important point for all of us. We will have a separate Bhumija session on this, in which we talk about we'll brainstorm. This is just a beginning. But we will talk about brainstorming of how to get better reach, how to reach out to consumers and awareness, what is the best way, what kind of platforms are the best. वो सब हम लोग करेंगे, but we'll do it as a separate session because this is meant to be a Diwali celebratory. We just wanted an introduction. We got yours very well. So thanks,
so
Jyoti. Anybody else who has a video? No problem raising, only videos. Okay.
Gauri.
Yeah.
Kaumudi here.
Yes.
I'll just can I just go ahead with my introduction?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead and share your video also if you have one. Go ahead, please.
Hello everyone. This was a brilliant idea to have this meeting. Myself, Kaumudi Pasana. I'm the co-founder of a venture called Global City Farmer. It is basically to introduce urban farming to the houses like Mumbai homes, which are actually tiny. Every square feet, square inch is measured here. So even though people have fancy for gardening, they say the space is the biggest crunch and we cannot do. So the idea of my venture is you can still grow a lot of edible food, edible gardens, and introduce your organic own grown food in your cooking.
Super.
So I have some products like seed kits and which are ready to use, and also I tutor people for growing microgreens. So in terms of nutrition, they are very high and require very, very tiny space.
Lovely. How can Mumbaiites reach out to you? Can you just give your contact details?
Yeah, sure. So I have a Facebook page in the name of Global City Farmer, and the same Instagram as Global City Farmer, and my number is 9819393773. I'll type it in the message as well.
Okay. Thank you so very much for your introduction. Mrinalini, over to you for all those who are remaining to talk, as well as this thing. Next 10 minutes, we need to sign. We need to close. So Soma and I think Seema Gulati is left. There are quite a few left here.
Is Rahat here?
Rahat, are you there?
I didn't see her. Okay. I think there's only one more.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. I am Dr. Mamta Chahar.
Yeah.
Hello.
Please, Dr. Mamta Chahar, please go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. All of you. I am Dr. Mamta Chahar, basically scientist. My basic background is biotechnology. I don't know my camera is working or not.
No issues. Go ahead, please.
मैम बेसिकली आपका जो प्लेटफॉर्म है ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग से है, मैंने भी इस पर रिसर्च एंड स्टडीज बहुत सारी की है। ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग में जो फार्मर्स को कनेक्ट करना इज अ वेरी इम्पॉसिबल टाइप टास्क जो अभी मेरे सामने आया है। फार्मर्स आर नॉट कन्विंस्ड फॉर द ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग ड्यू टू द लॉसेस एंड द प्रैक्टिसेस। For that, it is very tough task. Currently, I am working on organic medicinal mushroom. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Please go ahead.
So, I have a farm. वहाँ पर बहुत सारे आंवले हैं। मैंने कई सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे उसका प्रचार किया और nobody interested in organic आंवला and नींबू and
बेटा डॉक्टर को फोन करो, कमलेश को भेजते।
या तो मैंने क्रीम लगा ली है।
Hello.
Please, we can hear crosstalk. Can you silent yourselves? Yeah, please silent yourselves.
So I want a platform for the sale my products of mushroom, organic vegetables, fruits, and different types of the food
Wonderful,
items.
Mamta ji. I think Seema is working. I think you are working with Seema very closely.
Yes, yes,
So we
yes.
will get to know you better on our platform slowly. We look forward to all your contributions and support.
मैं अपनी बायोटेक्निकल अप्रोच को ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग और नेचुरल फार्मिंग में अच्छे से देना चाहती हूँ। इसके लिए वुमन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बेस्ट है। एग्रीकल्चर को मैंने चूज किया। इवन मैं स्टार्टिंग में मेरा क्लिनिकल रिसर्च था, तो मैंने उसमें देखा कि डिजीज का बेसिक प्रॉब्लम जो है वो फूड से है।
ममता जी, हमारे पास अभी इतना टाइम नहीं है, क्योंकि वाइंडिंग अप टाइम है। तो हम आपको बहुत, हम तो अभी ये शुरुआत है, आपको अच्छे से जानेंगे। आप अभी ज्वाइन किए हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म में।
Yes, ma'am.
So we look forward to listening to you. Anybody else who's left, Mrinalini? Thank you very much
to all of you.
Yeah, we are going to be in touch with you throughout. Now you're part of us.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
May I speak?
Yes.
This is Soma here. Happy to be on this platform and to share and learn from all of you. It's been quite an exciting evening, and I won't take much time. I work with a network, also a platform similar to Bhumija. It's called Makam, Mahila Kisan Adhikar Manch. And the reason why we focus on women as farmers is because most women are invisible as farmers, don't have the rights to as their male counterparts do. And many of them are doing most of the work, but don't have the kind of support or the entitlement to state policy, nor do they find the space in state policy. So for 20 years or so, several of us have been pushing policy to recognize women more actively and to respond to the kind of policies that have been coming out from a gender perspective, to let them know that this really doesn't work for women. So we're trying to increase that space. And through Bhumija, I feel that you can also, as a group of women who are so engaged with natural farming processes and with entrepreneurship as agripreneurs yourselves in processing spaces as well as in primary production, I think we can have a very fruitful and synergistic partnership, especially in terms of giving voice to those kind of issues, as well as creating platforms where we can collaborate. We work primarily with women in the rural areas and with the marginalized who have less than 1 acre of land and are performing land on their work on their own fields as well as others. So please go to our website and we can have another conversation about how those
Sejal is a very dear friend, Soma, and Sejal and I have been associated with Makam for a long time. Kavita, of course, I know also.
Yes.
I think there is a huge opportunity, one, to also engage with these women and see how they can translate organic dreams more into reality.
Well, they already are, actually, in the sense that their lives have been, my interest in this area came up from looking at uncultivated foods. I'm a geographer, work on landscapes. And I came upon the fact that more than 40% of the food that is consumed in rural India by poverty households is from land which is not being cultivated. It's wild foods, it's tubers, it's gathering that keeps the family sustained, especially in times of famine and crisis. So how do we bring that actively into the food basket, and the consciousness that all that it's a dharwar. And that heritage of food as well as living ecologically is what will sustain all of us. So those are the kind of connections.
We would love to work on this. As a matter of fact, today this lady is not joined us. I think her name is Vaishali. She's worked on, she's the first one who introduced me to the concept of food forests and what comes from the foods. But there are lots of women across India, a lot of people across India working on forest foods, tribal, uncultivated land.
So Mahua and the value of Mahua, for instance, and how the denial of forest rights is causing changes in the nutritive patterns of tribal communities. Those are the kind of issues that I'm working on particularly. So this kind of ecological.
Let's find synergies. Let's find synergies, form a team, and see how we can, really create empowerment for these women, as well as give access to the best foods they are creating.
I see a lot of possibilities there. So thank you so much. Happy to be part of this.
Wonderful. I think we need a good session on this.
Anyone else? Nimita?
Swati Shinde has not spoken yet. Swati.
Hello.
Hello.
Nimita. Off my video because I don't get the audio.
Nimita is left. Swati Shinde, come in.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Swati.
Yeah, okay. I'm owner of Pailadi Farms. Pailadi Farms is about naturally grown traditional superfoods. It is located in Sindhudurga, Maharashtra. So now what is traditional superfoods? We have this mango Alfonso Apus. And as a child, when I used to taste it, it was so nice. But over the time, the quality of Apus, went down. And I realized that it was too many chemicals are used for harvesting, post-harvest also, and while, the flower to fruit time. So that is how the Pailadi Farms was born. And, we are trying to, again, go back to the traditional ways of cultivating mangoes, and even post-harvest treatment, we are trying to go natural ripening other than, adding some ripening agent and treating with fungicide. So, and I think last year we sold around 200 dozens of mangoes that way. But in this process, whole of the community farmers was laughing. Like, you cannot do farming without chemicals. So again, that B ideas is also like, if we can have some television slot where farmers get to see it, because we urban people are seeing it, but the farmers are not seeing it. Convincing them to go from chemical to traditional way or non-chemical is becoming difficult. I mean, we have to convince them so much. We have to have, we have decided to have a model and we are working on that. But at the same time, it is quite difficult. So V ideas, I think that will be later.
How do we convert? Let's work on ideas on how to
a little more detail later. We need to take some more introductions, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. Just very quickly to Swati's this thing, we realized this, and that's why we during the COVID time we actually introduced our first natural farming program, which had 6 pillars of natural farming, and we introduced it, and we had a very good response on it. But of course, there are many more farmers. I think there's a lot of urban people now moving towards farming, and I'm finding that a very interesting trend. So yes, let's
Gauri, have one more speaker now. After that, yeah, Rushi. I want, because she's the only speaker left, and we need to respect her because she's she's prepared and calm. So Rushi is into self-healing. Okay, she's been doing organic farming for the last 8 years. She is into biodynamic farming, permaculture. And she believes you can empower a person to be the greatest they can be. So that is what her motto in life is. So let's have Rushi tell us a few things about self-healing.
I'm so glad she's come when she has, because she is really someone who, brings it all together, So happy to see you, Rushi.
Thank you so much, Gauri. Thank you for this thing and this platform, as in Bhumija, and all the work that you're doing. Hats off to you. You inspire so many. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And it was so lovely to listen to all the beautiful people. And I want to just say this, that let's acknowledge that we are the potency that can change the world. We, the women, can change the world. And thank you for bringing this up and making many realize this. So today I'm going to talk about healing. Many know what healing is, like, maybe coming in, restoring to the natural health, or, moving from illness to wellness. So as you had mentioned just now about we, the idea of media, the same way, it's like if you're moving away from just you as a person to we, illness to wellness. That is how the universe operates. I've been doing farming, and I have this passion for alternative modalities like healing energy and Reiki or access consciousness. And I do practice sound healing, like the Tibetan singing bowls and the gongs. And based on my experiences with clients and with nature, I believe that it is not just the healing that we bring in on ourselves by the food, or by the medicines, by the doctors, but there is something bigger that happens from within. So it is about healing the self, which your body is capable of doing itself. You just need to support and nurture the body, and the body can take care of itself. And with this, I would like to talk about something on the energy aspect of it. We all are nothing but bodies and energies. We're connected. All the atoms in our bodies and everything around is connected. And that is the common language that we speak across the universe. We may be speaking different languages, but the only connect that we have is to our energies. And I'm going to just share a little bit about, how energies can contribute towards better health. The food that we eat, nature, and all that are a contribution to our, wellness, or our movement towards we. That is the wellness part of it. And we all operate from, we are vibrational beings, the energy that we are. We vibrate at different frequencies. So does your body. So does the nature. And if you see this, there are different frequencies at which different organs in our body operate. So when you're talking about the body as such, the lower part of your body operates at a slightly lesser frequency, but than the upper part. So that's why you have the crown, which is on the head, which is a way to achieve, that oneness with the universe. So here I'm going to talk about certain energies and how you can have a healthy body, or a healthy, state, or health for everyone through having higher frequencies. So now when you talk of emotions are something like, if you talk of anger, sadness, grief, jealousy, all these emotions, when they are measured, it comes under the lower frequencies, which fall under very much under 20 megahertz. So I'm going to just talk about a little bit of it. And then if you see the emotions of joy, peace, love, harmony, they fall above 100. And if you are healthy, the healthy body has a frequency of somewhere around 62 to 72 megahertz. And when you fall into disease, the body goes into a vibration of 40. So how can you have a healthy body? Is through maintaining, choosing, having the highest frequency that you can be. So whenever you're falling into sadness, grief, anger, resentment, judgment, just choose something different. Choose, instead of being sad, have gratitude for what you're having, which will give you joy. So choose to have higher frequencies. Always try to be at higher frequencies, and that can bring a lot of health, wealth, and all the joy that you can have. So I'm going to share a couple of things that you can do to maintain higher frequencies.
I think we've run out of time.
Okay.
Can you put the tips in the group? I'm sure everyone is dying to hear it.
Okay.
Put it in the group, not the chat, but in our Bhumija group. Yes.
Okay, can you give me a half a minute? I think I'll just give two, three.
Sure.
Yeah, so we can have positive affirmations. Like I'll give you an example of a positive affirmation. All of my life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. If you're doing this, even when you are not having those feelings, you can have that. You can have gratitude. You can hydrate yourself. Having lots of water will give you that. You can meditate, be happy, be in the nature, and have organic food. Organic raw food has higher frequencies compared to the tinned, inorganic, the processed food that you're getting. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So much, Ruchi, and Ruchi has been really there to support, and I think she must be doing this with a lot of our members. Really there to support when one is feeling low or one is out of sync at any level. Like she's always there. I think she's been amazing support. Thank you, Ruchi, for being there. She's literally a pillar.
We are done with the speakers now. I think we'll just have a show of hand, and then we will have the everyone here introduce themselves. So can you just put up your hand, whoever wants to introduce themselves.
Anyone left to be introduce? I think
Mrinalini, you have to speak, right? Your introduction is pending.
Yeah, Mrinalini is going to talk about something very important, and we wanted to end the session with it. Please go ahead, Mrinalini.
So we won't have the introductions, Gauri?
No, I think we are through.
Too late to have the introductions? Okay. Okay. So I wanted to speak about food forest, and it is very, very important, but it's also something that would consume a lot of time. So I'll just go into this what I think of a food forest in very, very short. It just happened that I wanted to connect with nature, and then I wanted to be as close to nature as possible. So I started to find out what was the best way. And we have a small farm in Kolar near Bangalore. So we do have a lot of trees, but I found that it was not really natural farming, and we were doing only previously the people who were there were doing chemical farming. So I started to find out more about what was the best way to do natural farming, and also with the least effort. So I came upon this concept of food forest, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. To put it in short, a food forest uses the vertical space. So you have the tall trees, you have the medium sized trees, you have the shrubs, you have the ground cover, you have the tubers. So there are 7 layers of a food forest. And within every square meter, you need to have all the 7 layers, basically. So you have 7 layers of food growing. So at any point of time, you will not have nothing growing in your garden. You will have something which you can use all the time. So when you hear the word forest, you might get a little perturbed. You'll think, jungle hai kya? No, it's not really. We're not talking of a vast space of jungle, but we are talking about the way the forest regenerates itself and the way the forest functions with a diverse number of species. So a food forest is basically a place where you can grow 300 times the amount of food than a normal agricultural field. It's 300 times. That's what a lot of people who are doing it have already proved. That is one. Secondly, you don't need to use anything. You don't need to use fertilizers. You don't need to use pesticides. So you really save on all those things. You don't have to actively participate in terms of investing in fertilizers or investing in seeing whether the forest needs, your food forest really needs any kind of nutrition. The forest can help itself and the food just grows by itself, more or less. There are certain things that have to be done, okay, like a little bit of pruning and few things that have to be done. But suppose you cannot go to your food forest for a few weeks, it is still okay. It's not going to perish. It's not going to just shut down. Like if you had to go to an agricultural field, the modern day agricultural field, and not go there for a few weeks, then you would see that you won't have any crops left. So a food forest is a place which is so regenerative that it can help itself. So it sounds like almost something improbable, but we have a lot of people who are now doing this. And they are proving that it can be far more productive and profitable than your other modern day agriculture, where they use a lot of chemicals and fertilizers. Even they don't use organic chemicals or fertilizers. Also, the benefit of the food forest doesn't really stop at us, at the people who are growing it, but it is at such a global level. They say you can reverse climate change with food forests. They say you can reverse the soil degeneration through food forests. So a whole lot of things are possible. Everything that we are talking about on this platform, about organic, about going back to nature, everything can be achieved in a food forest. So this is in a very, very short and brief. I'd love to speak more about it at some other point of time.
Beautiful.
I can forward a lot of articles. Yeah. So
beautiful. Thank you so much for introducing. I think this was one concept we really wanted to share with you, Mrinalini, and so thanks for bringing it here. We as Bhumijas, we have taken the pledge to encourage, support, inspire, help create 10,000 food forests in India. And each of us really need to partake of this responsibility, because as Mrinalini said, it really supports the carbon sink. It ensures the environment is taken care of. And apart from that, a lot of other resources, including water, which are purified in the process. Soil health is taken care of. The best foods, high nutrient foods, are grown in food forests. It provides, it has, so many benefits apart from access to, as she was saying, perennial foods year after year. No lecture right now. It's celebration times. Wish you all a very, very, very happy Diwali. We are going to come up with more resolutions of 2021, many more programs, and we'll keep sharing. Be part of this whole journey of growing, of celebrating together, and being the best women foodpreneurs globally.
Yeah.
Happy Diwali.
Happy
All of you. Each of you such
Happy
a
Diwali.
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to all.
Nalini, thank you for being a wonderful MC. I know she's intervening, but I think she's really held the fort beautifully. Neeru for creating this lovely, poster promo, and Shobha. I don't know. I didn't see Shobha in the group today for some reason, but Shobha has also reached out to each one of you. So wonderful team, and this is the kind of teamwork which we want. We cannot have this platform grow if there's one single person. So we need Vidyas and we need V teams. Okay?
Thank you so much, Gauriji, for this platform.
Thank you, Komal. So nice. And we're all waiting for your salads. Huh?
Yes, yes.
Ritu, we missed hearing you, Ritu, but we really have run out of time. Please don't worry, we're going to have many more, and we're going to make sure those people we missed out almost 100 women who were not able to join. So we are going to continue having these, and you will all get a chance to showcase what you do and to also get inspired by you. Okay.
Happy Diwali, Gauri and Mrinalini. All happy Diwali.
Yes, happy Diwali. Happy Diwali, everybody.
Thank you, Gauriji, and happy Diwali to all.
May there be light in each and
Happy
every
Diwali. Happy Diwali.
Diwali.
Happy Diwali to all Bhumijas.
Thank you.
Happy Diwali to all.
Yes, happy Diwali to all.
Keep smiling, spread cheer, spread happiness, be grateful for all your blessings, as Rushi was saying, and keep eating good food and ensure that your Diwali is also about spreading good food, right? So we need to be careful about what sweets we are making, what we are also promoting. So yeah. Hina, you need to do a session. Hina, Kanchan, you should do some Diwali sweet session. So
Yes.
that we all have, we all get
Millet halwas and millet moong dal halwas and millet halwas and even whole wheat atta halwa is good, and ragi laddus and things like that.
I will share one recipe for this group, a sweet recipe for Diwali.
So we can run a lot of Facebook lives on Living Without Medicine with all your recipes, and you can also talk about the work which you all do. So please come forward, and I mean, we are almost 24,000 people, and you all should, the whole idea of creating that was that all the good stuff you're doing should reach people, and people should learn. I mean, all they're discussing is disorders, and we need to get them to move away from disorders and start eating the right thing, become more conscious, in living. So that is the change we all need to, get together and make.
Gauriji, Shashi here.
Shashi.
Regarding food, I am promoting Siridhanya millets that is recommended by Dr. Kadab Ali. If you want me to share any Siridhanya millet recipe, I can.
Please do. Please do. You're most welcome. We would look forward to that. We really want, actually, Living Without Medicine, a lot of people have got converted to having cold pressed oils. They've got converted into having millets. There's so many people who have changed, and it's a lot of hard work and time which has taken to change people. But we have to change thousands and maybe lakhs of people. So the aim is very big, right? The dream is huge.
Yes,
okay.
True.
Thank you so much.
Kanchan, bye.
Yeah, bye Gauriji. Bye everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank everyone. Thanks. Vidya is here. I want to give a very special thanks to our lady Vidya here. She is instrumental in creating wonderful content. We are also launching a newsletter. I'll share more about it with you all. We are coming up with a Living Without Medicine e-newsletter. Any of you want to contribute to it, you're most welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank you,
much.
ma'am, so much.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everyone.